Petition making the rounds online, asking people to save the Turtle Science and Recovery Program at the Padre Island National Seashore. It was last week that we first told you about cuts being made to the program. It's of course led by Dr. Donna Shaver out there, and the cuts, the 30% cuts they're talking about, translate to roughly $300,000 less per year. They were proposed by the National Seashore Superintendent, Eric Bruneman. The petition going around tonight is asking folks to sign a letter to the United States Secretary of the Interior, who is responsible for overseeing our national parks. It basically urges the Secretary to stop the funding cuts.